Hello, welcome to the Loop and Bar podcast. This is episode 18 and my name's Kate and I'm coming to you from North Wales in the UK. I'm looking behind the camera because I'm just checking that the recording light's still on. I've got a new camera and I'm still working out how to use it, so I just have to make sure it's still recording while I'm talking. And also, I just need to mention about the previous podcast. In the previous podcast, I introduced it as being episode 16, and I wrote that on the sort of beginning little introduction, when in actual fact it was episode 17, so that was very confusing for everybody, probably, if you noticed. So I noticed a couple of days after, and I think I changed the title in the Ravelry group. I possibly changed the title in YouTube as well, but not. I didn't take it off YouTube and re-edit it. So sorry about the confusion. There may appear to be two episode 16s, but there's a 16 and a 17, and this is definitely episode 18. So I have got exciting giveaway announcements for you. I've got a couple of things to show you that I got through the post, which is really exciting. I haven't done very much knitting, but I can show you a little bit of progress on a small project. I've mainly been sewing the last week and filling the Etsy shop, and those bags are flying off the shelves. It's really amazing. So I want to say a massive thank you to anybody who's been over to the Loop and Bar shop in Etsy. If you've gone over there to have a look, and if you've bought a bag, or if you've just gone over to have a look, maybe you favourited it, maybe you favourited something on there, or just had a quick look, I just want to say a really big thank you to you for that, because it's been extremely exciting for me making these bags, and that people actually really like them and want to buy them. So we'll just see how long it lasts. I'm going to keep making them and popping them in the shop, and I can show you a little bit of new fabric I've got as well for that. So, but first of all, I think what I'm going to do is very quickly announce the giveaway winners, because I really want to get these in the post, and possibly those people might have them before Christmas. So, I closed the thread yesterday, I think. I left it open for an extra day. No, I didn't. I think I closed it on the morning after I said. And we had something like, hang on, I can tell you the exact amount. We had 81 entries into the giveaway, which was amazing. So thank you to everybody who entered. Thank you to everybody who made really lovely comments about the bags that are the prizes. That was really lovely. And without further ado, I'm just going to tell you who's won them. So the first bag that I drew for is, the bags are both the same, the only difference is they've got a different colour drawstring. So this one's got the red drawstring with the little star buttons on it, and a lovely snowy coloured, snowy patterned lining. Forgot my words then. I'm getting distracted because there's a bird feeder at the window and a bird keeps coming to it. So anyway, the winner of this bag, I drew it this very morning, about half an hour ago, is Jeanette from Missouri, USA. So your Ravelry name is Jeanette BR, I think that's the right way to say it. And you are a very active member in my Ravelry group as well, so that's really lovely that you've won a bag. So this is yours. Hooray! I'm really excited. If you contact me on Ravelry, I think what I'll do is, it's Thursday morning now, and I want to get this bag in the post tomorrow, if I can, because I want to see if it will get there to you before Christmas. I can't guarantee it because I don't know how long the post takes to America, but I certainly want to give it my best shot. So I will contact you after I've finished doing the podcast. So you'll probably get you might already know. I might leave it till tomorrow because it's nice for you to get the surprise of watching it on the podcast. I'll upload the podcast. Hopefully this podcast will be out live tomorrow morning. That will be Friday. yeah, I'll contact you on Friday. I'll give it a day because I can still maybe pop it in the post. I'll get it wrapped up ready, or at the latest it'll be Saturday morning. Yes, because it's nice for you to find out if you've won actually on the podcast, isn't it? It's a nice surprise. But if you don't watch the podcast before then, which is very, entirely likely really, you might be busy, I will contact you tomorrow and get your address so I can get that in the post to you. So well done Jeanette. And the winner of the second giveaway bag, which is this one with the little green linen tied drawstrings, it's got the same lining. To give you a little shot inside as well. I think I'm rushing this a bit because I've left recording this podcast a little bit late, but the winner of the second hand embroidered special lupin bar designed festive, I'm calling it festive bag, is Caitlin from Massachusetts in the USA, and your Ravelry name is Out of Tune Piano. I forgot to read out what you like about winter. I've written it down and I think I'll do that. So Caitlin, what I did is I asked people to write down what they love about the winter, if they love something about the winter. Caitlin wrote, I love the first snow. My husband thinks of the chore of clearing the drive and the walkways, but to me it feels serene. Sitting inside with some hot tea, my knitting and a warm blanket while it snows outside is bliss. Definitely agree with you there. And I think the word serene to describe the snow and the snowfall, so many people commented on the fact that they love the quietness after snowfall. And it's not something that it had occurred to me, but it's absolutely true. It really quietens down the world, doesn't it? So serene is a really good way to describe it. And Jeanette had written, I enjoy how everything slows down in the winter. It seems like the hustle and bustle is gone and we snuggle in the house. I love the warmth of the fire, and this year I'm loving that I can sit and knit and just enjoy a hot cup of coffee or tea. It's lovely. That is definitely the case for all of us knitters. We definitely like to be by the fire with our knitting and with our tea, don't we? Absolutely with you on that one as well. So congratulations to Caitlin and to Jeanette. Caitlin, the same applies to you. If you see the podcast on Friday, that's fantastic, because I'd really like you to see that you've won on the podcast. It's a nice, exciting surprise for you. But if not, I will contact you sometime like Friday afternoon, British summertime, or maybe in the evening, because for you, yeah, I've got to think about the time zones. I'll contact you Friday, probably late afternoon for you in America, if I can work out the time zones, which I'm totally rubbish at. I really would like to try and get those into the post on Saturday at the latest for you two, just to see if I can possibly get them there before Christmas. If not, if you don't see this or don't get the message, don't worry, just message me as soon as you can. Let me know your address, where I can send these bags to, and I'll get them there as soon as I can. Okay, so that's brilliant. Very exciting. Hopefully they'll get to you by Christmas. I don't know if they will. But they're festive and winter bags, so you can put a little winter cast on in there whenever you get them. So that was very exciting. I keep looking this way because there's a bit of activity going on outside the window. In the last podcast, I told you that I'd got a bird feeder it's got little suckers and you stick it onto the window. And we have had some visitors to the bird feeder, so it's very exciting. There's a willow tree a few metres in front of it, of sapling. Well, I say it's not a sapling anymore. It's a young tree, it's in its first couple of years. And the birds fly, sit on the branches, check out the bird feeder, hop over to the bird feeder from the tree, and then fly off again. And they've got a little bit more brave as the week has gone on. And if I sit very still, there's somebody checking it out now. There's a blue tit looking at it. If I sit very, very still, sorry, I'm looking at the bird and not at the camera. It's just addictive. You should get one. If you haven't got one of these stick-on bird feeders, you should definitely get one. It's like a window-mounted bird feeder. If you love birds, it is so much fun. It's so enjoyable. I'm probably going to talk about that for the rest of the podcast now. We've had a blue tits, we've had great tits, we've had the robin. The robin, surprisingly, hasn't been as brave when I'm in the room. I can see him sitting on the windowsill, and as soon as he sees me, he flies off. He hasn't taken anything from the bird feeder yet while I've been sitting in here, but the blue tits and the great tits, they do. They're a bit bolder. I'm waiting for the chaffinches to discover it's there because we've got a lot of those. I'm really hoping the nuthatch comes to the bird feeder. That will be so exciting. And the woodpecker, I know he knows it's there. We've got a woodpecker living in the wood just at the other end of the garden. I am going to put a little bit of footage because I managed to catch, I think it was a blue tit or a great tit. I can't remember off. Oh, there's a chaffinch looking now. So they know it's there. It's really exciting. I might do a little bird pod. I might get one of those cameras that you put there all day long. I'd be like spring watch, bird watch. Oh my god, they're so cute. I caught a little bird having a little bit of seed. This is going to be terrible. All podcasts I'm going to be doing that. Right, now I'm going to focus now. So I'm on camera, so I'm going to put a little bit of footage in here just so that you can enjoy a little bit of bird watching with me. Okay, so that was a little quick snapshot. I'm hoping to catch a little bit more footage, maybe of some of the different birds that visit the bird feeder over the next few weeks, so hopefully there'll be a little bit more of that. I had a comment, now, was it in my introductions thread on Ravelry, or maybe it was in the giveaway thread? It was on Ravelry, or it could have been on Instagram. I've had so many messages, it's been absolutely lovely, and they're getting a bit muddled up now in my mind as to where those messages came from. But one lady asked if we could see a little bit more about the guinea pigs on the podcast, so I'm going to keep this one as short as I can. Famous last words, I know I always say it. But maybe in the next one or in the new year, definitely yes, I can introduce you to one of the other guinea pigs, or I can put a little bit of footage in. I'll certainly incorporate a little bit of that into the podcast as well. Because they're a big part of my life as well as knitting. So yeah, that'll be to come in the future, in the near future of the podcast. Right, I want to tell you about some really exciting. Oh, no, it's okay. The chaffinch was looking at bird feeder. Right, no, focus. I want to tell you, it's so hard to look at the camera. I might have to put something in front of the bird feeder when I'm podcasting. Kate, get a grip. Okay, I want to tell you about some post that I've had. I've had an extremely exciting week for post. Like I say, I've not done much knitting, I've done loads of sewing. I can't show you very much of that because it's all gone out of the Etsy shop and been sent off. But I can show you a few of the bags that I've got half made. I'll show you that in a minute. So mainly I've just been receiving wonderful, wonderful post. So I've got a few things to show you. I've had some lovely Christmas cards. I don't know if you can see, but I've got them on the dresser. But a lovely, lovely lady called Karen, all the way from Australia. She's actually English. She's from England, but she lives in Australia. A little while ago messaged me to see if she could send me a few things, little goodies from Australia. And the package arrived a couple of days ago, and I never would have thought she would have put so much in that package. It was amazing. It was like Christmas came 2 days ago for me. So I've picked a few things out of there to show you. Oh my gosh, I was so spoiled. Now, this is one of the things that was in the package, and I've never owned one of these, and I'm so envious when I see people on their podcasts showing off their braids of fibre. But look, now I've got one. This is amazing. And I've got my spinning, I've showed her a little bit about I've had a go at spinning, and I've had a lesson on a wheel as well. So that's definitely something I want to do in the new year, a little bit more, well, a lot more spinning. And now I've got some really beautiful fibre. I'll show you the label well, I think I better practice before I actually have a go at spinning up this particular fibre because it's so beautiful. I want to just, I don't know if that's focusing, I can't see, sorry. I think that's okay. I'll give you a close-up of this beautiful fibre. I wish you could touch it because it's so soft. It feels like a cloud. It's amazing. It's got these really beautiful, beautiful shades, pale shades in it. And I think that's gonna, what I know from watching other people who get braids and then actually show the spinning is the braid will look totally different to the end result once it's spun up. So I'm so excited to see, once I actually start spinning, makes me want to get a spinning wheel actually, what the yarn is going to look like. It's really, really, really exciting. So this is, it's Australian, it's artisan yarn and fibre, and this is a merino and bamboo, so 60% merino, 40% bamboo, and there's 4 ounces here, and the colourway's Sweet Dreams. And the website is, if you're in Australia maybe you might want to have a look at the website, www.skeineyarn.com. Just let me know if you want me to send you a link or give you that information. But this is the softest fibre I think I've ever felt. It's just so, so gorgeous. It's like a cloud. So thank you, Karen. You have sent me my first ever braid of fibre, and I'm so, so excited. Maybe I'll try a bit of spinning between Christmas and New Year to start the new year with a sort of a new skill. Carry on a skill that I've tried a little bit. Let's just pop that on there. Okay, and then, oh my gosh. I also got, from the lovely Karen, some beautiful, where's this from? From the Australian Alpaca Barn, and it's called Tranquility. 3 balls of this gorgeous, gorgeous, again it's as soft as a cloud, it's so lovely. If I can just do that with a label and then show you the label and how successful that will be. Is it 100% alpaca? It's 80% baby alpaca, 20% merino wool, and it's got a really, really cute picture of the alpaca on the front. It's so sweet. Don't want to break the label. Oops, till I start using the yarn, but I'll see if I can show you the picture of the alpaca. It's really cute. I would really, really love to have a little herd of alpaca. It would be amazing. I don't think Avion would let me have them. They'd eat all the grass and the cows need the grass. But this is gorgeous, it's such a lovely colour. I'm thinking, well, I immediately thought of a hat, but there's quite a bit here. So I'm going to have to really sit down with this beautiful yarn, maybe look through some patterns, look through my Ravelry favourites, and see how I can absolutely best use this gorgeous yarn. I think that it will show up a lovely texture pattern, stitch is what I meant to say, stitch pattern really nicely, so perhaps I'll choose something that's got a really nice intricate stitch pattern, like a texture pattern. That was totally amazing, just so amazing. And there's more yarn, can you believe it? I'll show you these two together. Long. Okay, this is amazing. First ever self-striping yarn. So this is a little package of firsts for me, thank you Karen. And this is from New Zealand, this was very exciting, well all of it was, but I've been to New Zealand so I felt a little bit extra excited about getting something, hopefully you can see that. I hope you can. It's from Stray Cat Socks, hand-dyed self-striping yarn. Oh my gosh. Brilliant, vibrant colours here, they're absolutely amazing. It's 75% superwash wool and 25% nylon. So I can see a pair of socks in the loop and bar future. There we go, I'll give you a nice close-up. I love the way it's wound as well, and Charlie was extremely interested in this, particularly because it's in a ball shape, so I've got to keep that out of the way of Charlie, because she really likes playing with balls. I don't think she knows that's not a dog ball. And then this one, and again, I've heard of Stray Cat Yarns and I've heard of this company because I'm sure that, I definitely know that Shara from the What Shara Made podcast, hello Shara, she talked about this in her last podcast episode, Dingo Dye Works. So I've been quite interested in seeing their yarn, and oh my gosh, it is beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and green is one of my favourite colours, especially for wearing. It really suits my skin tone, especially this shade as well. It's fabulous. So this is a lace weight yarn in the colourway Desert Lime, and it's 75% ultrafine merino and 25% silk. It's luxury, really luxury. And there's 800 metres here, and it's superwash, so that's fantastic. So I've got a lot of yarn here. So again, I'm going to have a lovely, lovely, lovely time sitting with my box of goodies, of lovely yarn goodies, looking through my Ravelry favourites and getting some lovely ideas about what to make with all of that. So that's going to keep me very happy for well into, you know, the new year, well into the new year. So you're going to see those yarns coming up on the podcast again in future projects. I also got, I'll just show you these. I think I'll just show you the yarn. I did get some more stuff. Karen sent me some really beautiful little pieces of fabric, which I adore. They're gorgeous. I'll show you one of them. I can't not show you because it's just so cute. One of them's got Russian dolls. There's a red one as well, which is behind it. How easily can I do this? So there's a red one and a green one. And it's got, are they Russian? Yeah, they're like little Russian dolls. And I actually have a Russian doll. So I think this is really beautiful. And then there was some more little bits of fabric as well. They're all gorgeous. So they are going to get very well used. I shall think about what to do with those, perhaps a project bag. And these are amazing. These remind me of tropical water. I don't know if I'm going to need to do the podcast hand or not. I'll just try it just in case it's not focusing. So some really beautiful stitch markers made of beads, sort of little stone beads. Oh gosh, I hope you're seeing those okay. Let me just cover my face up. There we go. They're beautifully made, and I shall incorporate those. I shall use those in probably a lace project when I use that lace weight yarn. I might hang those up somewhere actually as well because they're so gorgeous. They just remind me of, I looked at these and I thought about swimming in tropical water, which is something that I dream about quite a lot actually. So really, really, absolutely spot on, the perfect thing. So thank you so much, Karen. It was really exciting getting that that package. And Avion really loved his stubby holder. He used it that night. I was so excited to get home and show him it. And the fact that he'd got something in the post was really lovely. And it did really make him smile. And he had a can of Foster's in his stubby holder that night with his tea. So that was brilliant. Thank you, Karen. Thank you from both of us. Something else I got in the post from another lovely, lovely lady, and a very active member in the Ravelry group, Wendy, Mrs. Mood Swing, on I believe Ravelry and Instagram, but Wendy. She sent a lovely little Christmas card, so cute, and one of them's on, one of the little bits that she sent me is on my project, so I'll show you that one in a minute. So it's stitch markers in the Christmas card, which was so cute and really, really sweet, and I wasn't expecting that at all. Came out of the blue. One of them is this beautiful little sort of crystal heart, so hopefully that's going to show up quite nicely. I'll just try and stop it from, there we go. So it's not stitch marker, sorry, progress keeper. I actually think, I said this to Wendy, I messaged her afterwards to say thank you. I think I'm going to put this, hang it in my window because the sun shines directly through this window, and I'm going to try and catch some rainbows on the wall with it. And I probably will use it as an actual stitch progress keeper at some point, but I want to see if I can catch some rainbows on my loop and bar wall. I think that would be beautiful. So that is going to be hung in the window. And the other thing that she sent me is it's another progress keeper. At the moment I've got it on my treehouse mittens. I'll just show you those quickly. I've showed you them in the podcast already. Basically I'm just on to knitting the second one. So I'll show you those now as well because it's got these stitch markers on. Wendy made these herself, so that's absolutely brilliant. And these two, this stitch marker's got two little cute little charms on. some scissors for sewing, and a sewing machine. So cute. I don't know if it's... Let me just see if I can show you those separately, just to make sure it focuses. Oh, this is fiddly, isn't it? Okay, I hope that you can see those. I can't really see what I'm doing. Whoops. So thank you, Wendy, that was a really lovely surprise. We do have a laugh, don't we, when we message each other as well. Wendy's got a really funny sense of humour. I think it's quite like mine, so you know, we do have a bit of a giggle. So these lovely little stitch markers, I'm actually using them to mark the side of the project that's the beginning of the round. I've got the beginning, I know what the beginning is when I'm knitting. How do I say this? It sounds confusing. Because it's split into two, I'm using magic loop. But I just need to be reminded that it's this side. And the lovely thing is that they jangle a little bit while I'm knitting, and I really love that. So I'm enjoying having them dangling off my my project. I love having something like that dangling off your project. It's really tactile. So they're helping me to know which side is which is brilliant, because if I'm watching telly while I'm knitting, I'm likely to knit the pattern, half the pattern on the wrong side. So I'm on the right hand glove of this one. Just do that. And I've just started the thumb gusset. So there we go. I've just started doing the increases there for the thumb gusset. I've got the little round stitch markers for that one. And I finished, oh, I haven't finished it. Oh, I've still got to do the thumb. I don't know why I'm showing you this, you've already seen it. Anyway, this is the mitten I'm working on. This is a bit like you get deja vu now because I've already shown these and I've still got to do the thumb. So anyway, I don't know if I'll show those on the podcast again, because you'll just be saying the same thing. I might do, perhaps I'll be just to celebrate it as a finished object. But I need to put those in my Ravelry project pages as well, actually. I need to get better at doing that. That could be a New Year's resolution, to get better at putting my projects on my project pages in Ravelry, because it is very helpful to people. So, that was a lovely little bit of post from Wendy. And I also got from another lovely Ravelry member group and lovely friend, knitting friend, all the way from Somerset, Jo. It's your second mention on the podcast, Jo. You're going to be famous. Jo sent me the knitting magazine. This is amazing. Let me just show you the whole thing. I'm just looking in the mirror to see if I can get the whole thing in the shot. Okay, I'll give you a close-up. The illustration on the front is just so beautiful. It's absolutely lovely. Hope you can see that okay. It's just really contemporary. It's really different to most knitting magazines. You know, if I saw that on the shelf, I'd immediately buy it. But Jo had put a picture of the front cover of this magazine in the Ravelry group to say that she'd bought this and was just sitting down with a cup of coffee to read it. And I messaged her to say, where did you get it? And I don't think any of my newsagents near me sell this magazine, so she so kindly put it in the post to me. She bought me a copy and put it in the post. So generous, with a beautiful Christmas card as well, so thank you so much, Jo. And I've already picked out, there's loads of stuff in here I want to knit, which is really unusual for a knitting magazine. I'm going to subscribe to this, I think. I'm going to try this out and subscribe to it. It's a brilliant magazine, I love it. And the project that I'm going to knit, and I've got the yarn here to show you because I've already got it through the post, is this, is it on the front cover? No, it's this absolutely fabulous Christmas tree jumper. Now my absolutely mad idea is that I might be able to get this done for Christmas. In Jo's words, crazy lady, yeah. But it's chunky, so there's hope. And I'm small. So there's hope, yeah. And it's basically a lot of stocking stitch, and then the chart at the top tells you just how to do the Christmas trees. So I'm hoping I'll just be able to whiz around and round and round while I'm watching telly in the evenings and get this done and wear it for Christmas Day. If not, if I'm still knitting it in the new year, then I think I've got a good chance of being joined by Jo, and also, now is it Sylvia? Because I got mixed up, I was thinking, or is it Sue? another one of our lovely Ravelry group members who I just literally saw the message from this morning, and she replied to me because I said, oh, is it you who's also going to be knitting this jumper? Oh, is it Sylvia or is it Sue? Oh, I'm sorry, I've totally forgotten which one of you it is. I hope it's one of you. I know who you are on the Ravelry group. Anyway, I might have a couple of people joining me in knitting this absolutely fabulous pattern. And I am going to knit it in, now, the yarn calls for a chunky yarn, but I've chosen the Drops Eskimo, which is listed as a super chunky, but it's really, really, really lofty. So I'm thinking I might get the gauge okay. I don't mind if the gauge is a little bit tighter, because I think I want it to be really quite structured. Not stiff, it's not quite the right word, but I don't want it to be too drapey and loose in stitch, because it's top down, it hasn't got seams. So I think that if I knit it slightly tighter gauge, it will give it a little bit more stability. That could be me being very naive. I don't know if it's going to work. But I'm going to go for it. So this is Drops Eskimo. It's 100% wool. It's really affordable. It's amazingly affordable. I got it from the Wool Warehouse website. And, oh, it doesn't tell you the colour. It's colour number 53, but I think it's called pale grey. They do actually name their colours. I think it's pale grey on the website. So, and I wanted to stick to a really pale colour because the pattern in the magazine is shown in a pale colour. I just thought that looked really lovely. It shows off the trees. It was a toss between that and totally the opposite end of that scale. It was going to be a wine red, but Avion had a look with me and we both decided that we'd go for the pale grey, or I would. And then he really kindly offered to pay for the yarn as a Christmas present to me. So that was really lovely, total double bonus. So Joe sent me the magazine and the pattern, and Avion bought me the yarn, and then I've got loads of lovely knitting accessories like stitch marks and stuff sent to me in the post. So this is like a Christmas gift knit that I'm going to do, and then I suppose if I manage to knit it for myself for Christmas Day, that can be a present from me to me. So fingers crossed I managed to do that. Keep a lookout on Instagram and Ravelry, so I'll probably put my progress on there. Right, I'm going to whiz through. Do I need to say anything else? The Ravelry group, let's just talk about that for a second, has got 172 members. Wow, that's amazing. And the podcast has got 634 subscribers. Whoa, so exciting. So thank you to everybody that's a member of the Ravelry group, and thank you to everybody who's subscribed to the podcast. It's very exciting to watch those numbers creeping up and to know that more and more people are getting to know each other through the Ravelry group as well. My camera keeps stopping recording for some reason. I don't know if it's doing half-an-hour increments, or probably is because I talk a lot. So it might be a bit choppy, edity. So it just did it then. So anyway, I'm back. I've just pressed record again, and I was just talking quickly, very quickly, about the Ravelry group. Now, what do I want to say about that? The beep has made me lost my train of thought. We've got 172 members in there. That's what I wanted to say. I'm looking at the threads, had a quick look this morning. We've got a few threads that are quite fairly active, but a couple are far more active than some of the others. We've got the After the Cowl Knit Lounge thread, which is very, very active and brilliant. The What Are You Working On thread, which is really handy just for people to come and share their work. And the Random Chat thread. Now, all those three threads are basically places to just chat. But I was just thinking, the After the Cowl Knit Lounge is by far the most active thread. Though, I mean, in the last few days there's been 47 or something posts in that thread, as opposed to just 1 or 2 in the others. So what I'm thinking is, I'm going to see I already do, I see the After the Cowl Knit Lounge thread as being like a common room, if you like, or just like the knitting lounge. So I think I might rename it slightly, just the Knit Lounge, or the Loop and Bar Knit Lounge. Let me know what you think. And it's definitely intended as a place for anybody who's in the Ravelry group to just come and chat about anything that they want to. Show off your knitting, show what you're working on, ask questions about knitting, ask for help to see if any of the other members in that group can help you with anything if you're stuck on it. Introduce yourself there. I'll keep the introductions set up because it's really handy for me when people go and introduce themselves there. It really does alert me to the fact that we've got a new member. You don't have to introduce yourself, it's totally up to you, but it just lets me say hello to you back as well. So if you want to, you can go over and introduce yourself in the introductions thread, and then from there, if you want to pop over and say hello, make some friends, see who's about, just pop into the what is going to be called the Loop and Bar Knit Lounge, and that is basically somewhere where you can just chat about your knitting, your crocheting, sewing, anything, crafting, or anything else that you want to. So basically I'm going to amalgamate or merge the random chat, the what are you working on, and the after the cal, all into one thread, because basically it's just where everyone can go and chat about whatever they want to. And it's going to be called the, I'm going to write this down actually, because I'll probably forget it. Oh, I won't, because I'll edit it and then I'll write it down then. Yes. It's going to be called the, what did I say? The Loop and Bar Knit Lounge. If you can think of a better thing to call it, I like having Knit Lounge in there because it makes it really relaxed. You literally imagine yourself turning up to a really beautifully cosy room with a fire going in the corner, a lovely window to look out, some beautiful scenery. This is how I imagine the Loop and Bar Knit Lounge in my head. Lots of lovely, beautiful, squashy sofas and cushions everywhere, and gorgeous textiles and stuff. Big baskets of wool, and kettle in the corner, and cups of tea, and people just sitting in there and chatting. And that is how I see it. So that's how I want everybody to use it. Yeah. So I'm going to call it the Knit Lounge, but just tell me if you think if there's any other way to phrase it or any extra words to put in there. If you're in the Ravelry group and if you use that thread, sorry, let me know, help me label it. So that's what that will be called. I'll change that. So by the time this podcast is out live, hopefully that should be active. So I've just heard Avion get back, and it's probably his lunchtime, which means it's my lunchtime as well, because I've got to go to work this afternoon. So I'll just quickly show you a couple of the bags that I've been working on. Massive thank you to the people that have been over to the Etsy shop in the last couple of days and bought Christmassy festive bags. I sort of sneaked them in. I was quite stealthy because I wanted to give a couple of people that I know have been waiting and missing out an opportunity to have a look in there. And I've put a few bags in there, left them for a good few hours, and then perhaps posted on Instagram. Just to let those people get a chance, and thankfully they did, so that was great. Happily they managed to get a bag, so that's great. So anything else that I put into the Etsy shop, I will Instagram as soon as it goes in, just to let people know that they're there. So I got some beautiful fabric this morning. It's a green version of some of the fabric I've already used. It's gorgeous. This is from my friend Claire's shop, Wren and Ivy, and the fabric is by Free Spirit Fabric, and it's a Dina design. I'll give you a close-up of the birds. So while it's not actually a Christmassy fabric, I think this looks really festive, and it's my kind of style of festive colour and pattern. So I'll be making a couple more festive style bags in that one. And I've already sold a couple of these, but I've got this one to make up. So this one will be going in the shop. It's got the blue bottom, the red version of the festive bird fabric, and I think this is a very festive-y. I don't know if you heard that. Charlie's growling and doing the woo-woo sounds at Avion as he comes in. So that's going to be the lining for the bag. So if I fold it that way, you can understand a little bit more what it'll look like. Oops. So there's one more of those. I think probably I'm only going to get time to do a few more of these. This is another one. Like I say, they're not traditionally festive, they're not got Christmas trees on them or anything, but I just think that the patterns and the colours in the fabric just make them look quite festive. So it's sort of loop and bar style festive, if you like. So that one's got the linen bottom, this beautiful Tilda fabric, whoops, and I think this might be a Dina Designs, I'm not sure, but it's a really nice spotty. I think it looks like sort of a snowy fabric, even though it's got red spots. And then a white version of the birds, and that's got some beautiful red tilde floral. Have I put the label on that? Yeah, it's got the label on the other one. And the white version of the bird fabric, and I've sold one of these already as well, so that's lovely. And the lovely sort of snowy patterned lining for the inside of that one, and they look really lovely when they're made up. They actually do look really festive. So that's 3, and then I'll probably get 2 out of the green, so that's probably about another 5 to go in the shop. And I might, if I've got a chance, pop a couple of just non-festive, totally normal loop and bar, as you've seen them before, if I get time. So, well, certainly they'll be going in the shop after New Year, but don't know if I'll get a chance before Christmas. But those festive ones will definitely be in the shop over the next week, so keep having a little look, and look out on Instagram. Something else I might pop in, I've got this bunting that I made. I'm really rushing actually just to get this finished now. I've got this bunting that I made. I'll just show you really quickly, but I'm going to pop this in the Etsy shop. Now it's in Welsh. It says Nadolig Llawen, which is Welsh for Merry Christmas, and it's made with Welsh woven wool. This woolen fabric is woven in a mill just down the road from me called Ravelry Woolen Mill. It's actually got linen letters, that one, but the background has got a herringbone wool, and that's locally woven. I'll tell you more about that mill in a future episode, I think, if I do some more bunting. But I made these last year and they've been really safely stored away, and I think I'll pop them in the Etsy shop, just in case there's any Welsh viewers who might like to purchase a Nadolig Llawen bunting. Or if you're interested in the Welsh language and would like a Welsh Merry Christmas bunting, that's going to go in the Etsy shop too. There's another version of it. Again, this is the background, the cream part of this one is Welsh wool, locally woven. And the backing is linen, a really beautiful pink linen. So if this is your kind of thing, and you would like a Welsh Nadolig Llawen bunting, they sell really well locally. So I'll just pop them in the shop, because it's a shame for them to be sitting here when they could be on somebody's, hanging up in somebody's house somewhere. I'm not sure if they'll sell, because obviously they're quite specialist, what with them being in the Welsh language, so I'll put them in there. If not, we'll keep them safe for next year, and next year I'll probably do some Merry Christmas and festive bunting in the English language as well as the Welsh, in the Welsh wool. So that's everything, I think. Just look around, make sure I've talked about everything. Yeah. Okay, so well done to Jeanette and Caitlin for winning the giveaway bags. I'm really happy for you. Let me know your addresses. I want to get those in the post as soon as I possibly can. And I will probably try and sneak another podcast in before Christmas, hopefully. So have a very lovely week. Lots of lovely cosy knitting and hot chocolate or cups of tea. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.